Okay, welcome to episode 4 of this Dance Gavin Dance lyric review series. There's a lot of pretext to what I'm going to say throughout the rest of the series, so if you haven't seen the first 3 videos, I suggest you go and check those out. So first, before we get into this, I need to go over a few notes I made about both the song Acceptance Speech and the album itself. So if you recall some of the highlight lyrics uh, in the song. One of the major lyrics was to finish off John Mess's vocal part. Who accepts me as I am? I do. I do. The way I interpret all of this album and the song itself and all the lyrics within the album, fitting it into this introspective mind-body dualism thing they got going on, is the entire album and the lyrics seem to be all about accepting yourself, no matter what that means to you. And not only accepting yourself, but also accepting others along the way, or learning to accept others, rather. And along with this, acceptance is the final stage of the grieving process. And so this album itself has taught me how to rush to the end of the grieving process. Anytime it's easy to get sad over something or, upset over, the state of the world,
You know what I'm talking about.
like I said, this album has taught me personally how to rush to the end of it. As in, like instead of wallowing in denial and, coming up with all kinds of coping mechanisms to try and, you know, deny reality, if I just rush to accept it before it has a chance to pull me under, so to speak, then it's incredibly therapeutic when you approach it from that level. And along with this whole acceptance speech concept, one could argue that the lyrics to this album are sort of Tillion's acceptance speech into being accepted into the band. I don't know if you know about the history. I'm not going to go into it. You can look it up on your own. One final thing I wanted to elaborate on before we got too deeply into it is within this mind body dualism thing, this introspective conversation between the heart and the mind, is that sometimes the mind and the body, or the angel and the devil, and or Tillian and John Mess, are sometimes working together to present the lyrics they've come up with together. They've talked about several times how they work together when writing the lyrics. So it's not like I'm coming up with that on my own. What I mean by that is sometimes it sounds as if they're both singing and screaming directly to you, the audience, which means that if it feels like they're talking to you, they technically are, if you think about it that way. And this level of complexity in any art form, I'm going to eventually break down Star Wars and Metal Gear. It's like two of my favorite things. I got two little decals on the container that I drink water from every single day to remind me of the power of them and the power of balance. Here's my little kitty. Hey, second. How you doing, boy? He's a grumpy old man. Forgive him. Anyway, so yeah, so this level of complexity in any art form is why this band specifically deserves a TED Talk level of analysis, which is the whole reason for these videos. Really, is to help spread the love, so to speak. Actually, I got my first comment the other day. It's pretty interesting. Someone asked if I um, was new to the Tillian era, as it's called by Dance Gavin Dance fans, and I explained to him that I've listened to every single Tillian song like at least 100 times, and these videos are just me reacting to it for the 101st time to make it clear that I really do love the shit out of this band uh, and want to share that with enough people who either are fans themselves so they can appreciate it deeper on a deeper level than they already do, or introduce it to people who have never heard them and don't know what they're about and can get more deeply into it, and appreciate it on the level that it deserves to be appreciated, because it really is some masterpiece level shit. So this song is called Carve, and it's the one that comes after Acceptance Speech. And how I've come to interpret that is Dance Gavin Dance obviously focuses on the nature of meaning and consciousness and all that. And Carve to me seems to indicate like the process of molding art. If you think of Michelangelo's David um, or Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, they both uh, were carved by the hands of the artist, akin to the music in these albums. Along with that, um, one could argue that if there is meaning to be found in the universe, that any living thing has to carve that meaning out of the meaninglessness. You know, like in the grand scheme of things, we're all just little ants on an anthill. But if one can carve a path for oneself, you know, whether or not it be through like their career or their artistic process, they they've done carved a path, as one could say. Anyway, so the lyrics sort of reflect what I'm saying here, and you'll see that as I put them again below. Enough ranting for me on this song. So I guess we'll get into it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna make a little marker. And
This is my brand and I judge you the fear. Breathing in the glory of my story. Jumped inside the blender, now drink me. Breathing in the glory of my story. Rage against the reflection. Breathing in the glory of my story. Burn this shit, stay burning infection. Breathing in the glory of my story. Wax and wait and wax and wait and what I still got the glory. Wax and wait and wax and wait and what I still got the glory. Yeah, turn on my race. Yeah, turn on my race. You know the price ain't right, and if I spend this time, then I'm a award-winning actor, man. Yeah, turn on my right hand. Push with your clout, pull the mud out your mouth, man. I'm only Christian and once mine. You come back once and then the second time for blood. I'm terribly wasted. You're coming to pieces. Let's get fucking naked and fall off the deep end. That's what's wrong with my sleight of hand. I'm about to predict the future. Any credit given will be slipped under the rug or reduced to the fine print. I'm only silent when you're asking questions. And if the answer is no, I wasn't present. All I see is a notion of replicas. All I see in their eyes is my reflection. The world's a stage and I'm a wax and wane like the moon till they're lit like the sun. The world's a bitch and I'm manipulated. You believe every word I say. Yeah, turn on my right. Yeah, turn on my right. You know the price ain't right, and if I spend this time, then I'm a award-winning actor, man. Yeah, turn on my right hand. Push with your clout, pull the mud out your mouth, man. I'm only Christian and once mine. You come back once and then the second time for blood. I'm terribly wasted. You're coming to pieces. Let's get fucking naked and fall off the deep end.
yeah, so I'm gonna film doom and gloom after this. Yeah, no, I feel like what I was saying about the nature of the word carve, along with the whole mind-body dualism conversation, I can see how the lyricists are communicating back and forth with each other while also talking sort of past each other while talking about the nature of their conflicting ambitions. That's about where I'll leave it for now because I don't want these videos to start getting too long and, you know, fall out of your attention spans, I guess. But yeah, tune in for more. That was Carve.